Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat. Welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to be back with y'all today, and I hope you're having a good day. Good to see you, Gail. Good to see you, Pure Fox. Good to see you, Brayherd. Good to see you, Bat Roxy. And Gail, congratulations, you've won the crown of Furstendom. You win the big thinky brain cap of Furstendom this day because we're doing children's puzzles, but they're actually kind of hard. Because Zoombinis on hard mode is weirdly really difficult. Anyway, brief announcement. I cleaned up the pain wheel, the candy wheel. I removed a few things from it. I removed the matcha candy, the tahini gummy bears, and mango rings, and a couple of the Japanese candies because they were too good. They were too good or too boring to be on there. All the pastilles are still on there, but I rearranged it so that they're kind of a couple of them are clumped together, so they should show up less frequently. And the really bad stuff should show up more frequently now. Oh boy. We love it. We love it. You intend to buy more peelers. Nice. This grants game is a practice of how to solve puzzles without hints other than your failures. Yes? Yes. I'm going to go with yes. Anyway, let's dive on in. So we're going to finish up just looking at the things on very, very hard. Have fixed number of items on the candy wheel. When you get a new candy, one must be struck. So I think what we have to do left is Who's Bayou section, the lion, and the bubble maker on very hard. So yeah.
Welcome to the boat. Now hurry yourselves up and find your seat.
Okay, so we have to sit everyone in such a way that there's a shared
sit wherever you want to. I don't really care.
shared trait next to them. So I need something in common here. So if we have sunglasses... Nope, that won't work.
There you go, you got it.
So we need something in common here. So what if we did that? So we have propeller in common. Then we could have green nose and little tuft of hair.
Crab's alive.
What? What is your problem? How did that not work? Bees can be moved around. Cajun has rearranged his seats on his ferry. So many more neighbors to worry about. Must have something in common with their neighbor to sit. This guy does have something. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh no! Notice that the neighbor here has to have something in common with all 5. It's not a grid. It's a hexagon. It's a hexagonal grid. We're playing Civilization now.
There you go, you got it.
So if I put this person here, yep, see, propeller, and then big glasses all round. So I could put this person here, and that's fine. So what if I found someone with a green nose and tuft of hair?
There you go, you got it.
Okay, so do I have... Okay, so if I put someone with... Okay, let's take that away. So I do this here. Hexagons are pentagons, but yeah, also painful. So I can't put that person there because I need... Ooh, this one be tricky. If we take you away, we put you there. So we can put you there because you've got a green nose. So a whole green nose section. Put that guy there.
There you go, you got it.
He's got the correct wheels. Hexgrade is a superior way of playing TTRPGs. Has speed of a graded and better accuracy. That's an opinion. I will take your word for it. Because I've never played. Well, it's not a RPG, but it has RPG elements. Battletech. No, none of this is working. I think I need to spread the green noses out to more in the... I need to spread things out more, I think. Weirdly enough. See, there's too many common things there. Eyes and hair. There. Only has one thing in common. Hey, Step Zero. Yes, the logical journey that is... Yeah, it's so much logic. Ah, everyone has this... Oh, wait. Everyone has the same hair there. They're supposed to. You're supposed to. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do, is you're supposed to find... You're supposed to, like, layer things up in sections, because, like, I have a section here with the common hair, and then I could do one with, like, yellow noses adjacent. Just, like, the little overlaps.
Ah, sure. No.
No! Oh, yeah, duh.
There you go, you got it.
Okay, we've got a bunch of propellers at the top. So now... If I can find... Well, I guess you have
There you go,
a
you got it.
commonality there. You have no commonalities. What difficulty is this? This is the most difficult. Off to an appointment. Hey, you take care, Bad Roxy. Good to see you. Hmm. Put that there. Nope. I was like, oh, he has something in common with those two. No.
Swimming for the fish.
Oh, no! I lost... Where are you going? Are you just leaving us? Okay, you're coming back.
There you go, you got it. Ah, sure.
Okay, so let's try this a different way. Let's make like spaces and then fill things in.
There you go, you got it. No!
I saw it after. It was too late. It was too slow. Okay, sleepy eyes. Anyone mono wheel left? No. Except for this person. But then, oh, that
There you go, you got it.
leaves that in common. You appear to be suffering. Well, that's why I have the pain and suffering tag. Okay, so I should be able to... That person won't work out there. Commonality there is the hair.
There you go, you got it.
This is the most I've had. I don't have the ability to add suffering yet. You know you can earn channel points by subscribing or giving bits. I'm just saying. Yeah, that person can go there. I am subscribed. You are indeed, and I thank you for that. But also, I'm just saying more in general to all of chat. Can't go there because it have nothing in common with this one. I only have one person with sleepy eyes.
There you go, you got it.
So I could put this person here, except that won't work because then they have nothing in common with that person. Let's start with sleepy eyes here. And Springaloin can go there. We can put... anyone else with a ponytail? Yes, we can put ponytail. Oh, wrong hair type. We can put Cyclops there.
Ah, sure.
We can put Cyclops there. And we can put this person here. Which does nothing. It's only one red nose. Oh, no.
No.
I'm sorry, Weird Frog Man. I'm sorry I have disappointed you.
There you go, you got it.
It's more like amusement and less like disappointment. I think it's ironic at disappointment. He's laughing and then getting angry. Okay, so do we have someone with glasses and a little tuft? No. What about Rollerblade and the little tuft? Yes. Okay, they can go there. Droopy Eyes cannot go there.
Ah, sure.
Let's move that up, make kind of a line. Green, nope. Let's start with this dude. No, you guys fed kidneys.
No. Ah, sure.
Okay, so we've got hair this way and green nose this way. This way we could have green nose and propeller. So propeller, well, actually, hold on.
There you go, you got it.
Green nose, hair, wheels, but nothing. So if we get rid of that, oh, well, that's weird because like the obvious solution is to have all 5 of these be the same, but that's also hard, just mathematically speaking, with what we've been given. Okay, so nope, that won't work. That will work. So what if we did something else here? So I think I need to build up a block of 6 and then find the commonality. I think that's the best bet to filling some of this in.
Sure.
It's got that style of hair. Got that same nose. Got the same nose. Oh, I'm way overthinking it. I'm way overthinking it because I need to. No. Nope, never mind. Maybe I'm not overthinking it. Because I was like, oh, I need to find a commonality between these two. It's like, well, no, not necessarily, because this one could be the bridge. That's the point. So this one has the right... Okay, that one fits there. Okay, so who would... We don't have anyone with spring. So it could be one of these. So let's see. This would match shades and shades, but that's it. This one matches that and that, but that's it. I think I'm on the right track, but I think I need to do this not from a corner, but do what I was doing the other way around.
Sure.
So... Nope, blue nose won't work there. You could work. So like the most similar one in a group and the most unique one in another. Exactly. It's so I'm trying to start with the like very odd one out of red noses because there's only the two.
There you go, you got it.
Okay, you can go there. That's good. Do I have... Okay, so you have matching hair, you have matching eyes.
Hey, that seat's too small for the two of you.
Matching eyes. Where's a blue? Okay, so blue nose can go there. Nope, that's not going to work. How many Zoombinis have I lost so far? Well, right now we're technically in practice mode just to see the hardest difficulty. We did like 1.5 runs last week. Hey, Kaylesia, good to see you. We are doing some Zoombinis. We're doing it on the hardest difficulty, and it's kind of kicking my butt. Zoombins. It sounds like the knockoff version of Zoombini.
There you go, you got it.
Zoomy beanie. Zoomy bins. No, that's what we put Gen Z in when they're in timeout.
Only one per seat.
Yeah, I know. I was... I think the reds are going to have to go in a corner.
There you go, you got it.
But that actually works. So... You work. So let's start working around this one. So I need... Well, Nothing actually fixed there. That's annoying. Because I need it to match all its to have one thing in common with all its neighbors. Yeah, so each stump I have to have that a Zombini is seated on, they have to have something in common with each of their neighbors. And this is arranged in a hexagonal grid. Let's put the two red noses opposite each other and just see what we can do from there.
Ah, sure.
Actually, do that there. And put droopy eyes there, and we can put... No, that won't work, because then he won't have anything in common with that one.
Ah, sure. Only one.
Yeah, I know only one per customer. I move this person up
There you go,
here,
you
that
got it.
works. So, is there a green nose glasses or green nose shoes? No, there is not. Okay, green nose, green nose.
There you go, you got it.
Let's put all the green noses together. Has hair in common. Hey! I remember how we met. We were on golf together. That's how we met. Good to see you. How you doing? Your undying joke. This looks cute. It is. It's Zoombinis. It was a children's puzzle game in the 90s. This is it on its max difficulty. I don't know why they think this is for children. This is a crazy logic puzzle.
There you go, you got it.
Oh, right. Nope. That can't go there.
Leave the swimming for the fish. Ah, sure.
Create the solution is just to create the same exact Zoombini for your entire group. Ah, you wish, but you can't. Beady eyes, green nose.
There you go, you got it.
Put that there. Can't put this here, unfortunately, because of that. But no, she doesn't fit there either.
Ah!
What? Oh, wrong. I see what's wrong. Thought I had this person there.
There you go, you got it.
Get to universal characteristics. Well, that's something.
There you go, you got it.
Tell me what's going on with this game. Right now we're doing... It's essentially a matching puzzle. Every Zoombini, these little blue things, when they're on a stump, has to have one characteristic in common with a neighbor. The problem is they're on a hexagonal grid. So I could remove him to place that guy there. Then there's nothing I can really place in the middle here that would work. It's like a puzzle? It is a puzzle. This whole game is a puzzle. I am vexed. So there's 4 traits to a Zoombini, so the centerpiece has to represent 4 other types. You know what? My brain hurts too much. I'm moving on. I'm just showing off the different puzzles on their hard mode. We went through it last week. So this one, there's the different characteristics. There's the shape of the flower, of the lily pad, its flower, and its color. And then what? Your goal is to get the 400 Zoombinis from here to here, because they're being exploited over here by terrible people. Quite literally, that is the plot. So you have to take them on this journey. So you take them through, and then the more you play, the harder it gets. But you can also practice and just go straight for the hard mode. Also, this hard mode has Crab, who has its own rules. So you can see it's going to follow. It has the 3-leaf on it. Oh no! Don't crash! Don't crash! Don't crash! Crab, please move on. Crab, crab, crab. Thank you. Crab people. Okay, so the X's do not have one. Did I read them Novarum? I tried, but the crabs kept coming. Okay, now that we've used the blue frog twice, we can't use it again. Dang, yellow almost looks like it could have been one, but... cyan is one, but I have to time it right. Have you heard of carcinization? All thing become crab. Yeah, I think it's going to come down to lily pad shape at this point. I hope I timed that right. Because crab up here's... Yeah, crab up there's not going to be a problem. Okay, so let's look for the fours. Fours... Nope, can't be fours. Single notch. Single notch goes nowhere. Double notch. Double notch. Double notch goes nowhere. Okay. So triple. Hey, it's all good. Thank you for the lurk. I don't think... Yeah, I can't even... Oh, I have one spot I can start a triple, but it doesn't go anywhere. Oh, use the magic wand to swap lily pads. I didn't know I could do that. Okay, so I can make my own path. How much am I limited to? You have 19.4 color tabs! You're so close. What could happen at 2000? So there's no limit, it seems, on how much I can rearrange. So I should just make, like, yellow. Terrible candy occurs. Terrible candy might occur. So then I probably use the wand to make a pink path. Yep. Can you move lily pads that have crabs on them? No. So you can trap crabs on a single set of lily pads and mess up their spawn? Potentially. So let's see what I can do with... Oh no! I am out of magic wand! There was no indication to how much magic wand I could use. I have been betrayed. And actually, can I? Yes, I have. Point of order. I think we might be hosed now. Because I can't... I didn't know... That makes sense. I get why the wand has limited use, but, like, if there was an indicator, I was not paying attention. Bye, Zoombinis. We'll be back for you later, except never. So here's another matching one, but you have to match the specific trait. Chat, are we cooked? We're always cooked. Are you kidding me? I stream it in the late afternoon. Of course I'm cooked. I'm always tired. Okay, so now we need a blue one with this with a ponytail. Okay, so crop top with Vans. Matching eye. Yeah, that should be fine. These sound effects are crunchy. Oh, but I need a matching eye that way as well. So it can't be this person. Do I have another ponytail with blue? No. Okay. You can stay there. Let's put a different blue down. Put a crop top down. So if I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes of the same kind, I do actually have that. I just have to... Just have to do some rearranging. Okay, so... Boots... Let's put you there. Let's actually put you there. Whoop! Oh, that won't work. It's correct haircut, but wrong nose. So do we have a blue ponytail? We do. Oh, that actually lights all that up. It's kind of perfect. So I can put blue nose there. Put that there. Put her there. So I need one more blue nose. Dang it, I need a blue nose with rollerblades to finish this, which is this guy. I need a crop top with a blue nose to go there. So what if we did blue nose crop top there? No, because then we still need another crop top, so this can't be a crop top. But it does have to be Cyclops. Oop, whoops, sorry. Anyone else with a ponytail? Yes. Dang, it's a shame that this one didn't have the ponytail. So that would fit perfectly. Well, it's another matching game. I just want to show these off real quickly, because we didn't get a chance to. This is the last one we didn't get to chat. And then we will be... After this, we're going to start the second one. Oh, look, it's all complicated. So if I send a mono eye up, it should go left, and then up, and then left, and then up. But I can only send... Oh, no. What's swapping these is this switch. That's the switch right there. So I should be able to send all these mono eyes on. What? Why? What? No, why? Oh, no. I didn't see that arrow somehow. I just didn't. So now he'll get stuck on the green path. So I need to unlock that. But now, these will go down here, but they'll get stuck on the green path too. Okay, but that's now going that way. So I need to send a red nose that way. Oh, I can't beat this. Hey, Clutch! I was coming up with the weirdest games to play on stream. I played this as a kid, but you're not wrong. Look, I'll get one Zoombini across. So theoretically, I could get as many across. Surprised there's a category for it. I'm surprised there's fewer followers for it, honestly. I can send everyone except those with a ponytail through this way, and they get cleared. I need to get a red nose to clear these guys out, but I don't have a red nose because he's the only red nose right there, and I wasn't paying attention. Crop top would switch yellow. Well, no, I can't do that either. Crop top switching yellow would also change nothing in the long run, because it would just swap this going up and this one going right. So, you know, largely the same. So that's just what that is, and we've looked at all the other puzzles, so give me a moment. We're gonna switch on over to Zoombinis 2. Now, I have never played this one. This is one I did play as a kid. I played one as a kid, but I never got to play the next one, which is Mountain Rescue. And then there's Voyage Home, I think is the third one. I have that too. Crop top switching yellow would change nothing. It sounds like a code phrase. Hacker voice, I'm in. Okay, let's hope this works, because I got it. First time I tried this, nothing happened. And then I tried it again, and it went just fine. Oh, hello? Did you crash? It is a pretty background. It is a pretty background. I'm sorry my desktop is such a mess. I promise I had this working. It is very synthwave. I like purple. I like geometry. Lent next year confirmed. Let's go. More Lent. Where did I install this stuff? I it wants me to put the thing in the CD. Please put the CD for Zoombinis Island Odyssey into your CD-ROM. I did. I was supposed to put in Mountain Rescue. I guess that's fair. Okay. Let's just hit reinstall real quick. Kerbo brings me joy. He does. He's over there protecting me. Boyo. This install wizard is like such a wave of nostalgia chat. Minecraft is on. St. Joseph helped the fiance get a job in less than a week. Bob has been ordered. You streamed to complete this wonderful day. Hey, that is a great sounding day. And happy to hear that the fiance got a job. That's great news. Come on. I believe in you, Zoombinis. You can be installed as a treat. 7 interviews and 10 offers less than 10 days. Hey, that's great. No, I do not need to install Adobe Acrobat R Reader. We'll register later. Oh. Oh. I got a thing change. A resolution change. We in it now. The Lararding Company. Yes, I would like to create new player. Okay. Why can I not? Ah, there we go. I just had to type.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful land of lush forests and clear, sparkling waters. And in this beautiful land lived a happy bunch of creatures known as the Zoombinis.
Major downgrade in the narrator.
All looked a little different. Different hair, eyes, noses, and feet. But those differences meant nothing to the Zoombinis. They lived in peace and prosperity in the town of Zoombiniville. One Thursday morning, after a dark and fierce storm,
They look
a Zoombini
wrong.
named
They
Binky
do.
ran into town and told the most alarming story. Binky was gathering strawberries with a group of his friends. As the group journeyed home, a great storm blew in out of the north. The frightened Zoombinis ran into a nearby cave for shelter.
You have a whole town.
The Zoombinis were startled to find that they were surrounded by the strangest creatures. What could they be? Binky ran out of the cave. A bolt of lightning struck the cave's mechanical door. It trapped Binky's friends inside with the mysterious creatures. Binky tried with all his might to open the door, but it was just too heavy.
Why would you not have a
Rushed home to
failsafe?
Zoombiniville to get help. This terrible tale made the Zoombinis very worried. The caves were rumored to be in Bully territory, and although no Zoombini had ever met a Bully, they knew that Bullies were something to be feared. What if the strange cave creatures were Bullies?
Maybe bullies are friends.
The Zoombinis have decided that a rescue party must be formed at once. 16 Zoombinis will journey to the caves and rescue their trapped comrades, and you, my friend, will lead them. The Zoombinis are counting on you. Choose the features of the first 16 Zoombinis, or click on the numbers 1 or...
Just give me 16 Zoombinis.
And so the intrepid Zoombinis set out to cross the water and reach the great caves. A family of turtles can help cross the stream. If the Zoombinis are in order, it works like a dream.
Major downgrade on the narrator voice. That's sad they couldn't get the guy from the first game. Hey, you take care. Good to see you. Oh, this is just literally the lion puzzle from the last game. Yeah, wow. The graphics just look so... Like, admittedly, the version I was playing of Zoombinis 1 was the remaster. But, like, even comparing classic Zoombinis to this is a... This feels like a downgrade. Going to 3D graphics has made the games look worse. Yeah, I mean, some of... Again, go find actual screenshots of original Zoombinis to compare it, but... I mean, there was huge pressure from corporate to make games 3D in this era.
That's exactly
Is that a timer?
right.
It's... Where, right?
The Zoombinis are proud to have met their first challenge. Their courage is true, but now they must face the pipes of Palu. A perfect match will help them slide right through.
There's a boop boop sound. No, I think that's just the game. Ooh, the nose icon is unsettling. Okay, so this is the cliff game. Film the first one. Gotta say, not super impressed right out the gate with the fact that A, the graphics, and B, the narrator. But C, also that the puzzles are just variations. They're not even variations. They're the exact same. Must away. Take care, Step Zero. I read that as same puzzle, different giraffes. Okay, so I need... We take you... Put you there so you're the same nose. Two are the same feet. You two are the same eyes. I don't think you should be celebrating. That looks terrifying.
Well done! The pipes took the Zoombinis on quite a ride. They came to a stop inside a mysterious cube, confused and unsure of just what to do.
It looks like a
seemed
tesseract.
that escape was controlled by 3 levers, and rescue was waiting for those who were clever.
Zoombinis are trapped inside the aqua cube. Use the levers to move the light and pick up Zoombinis, but don't pick up the fleen, or it will chase away the Zoombinis that you have collected. Each lever controls one direction of movement. Try not to go back because you only get a few moves once all the lights below the levers have lit up. Okay. So this is the most interesting one. I don't know, though, which lever does what. And we get, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves? So let's just move 1. Okay. So that's left, right. That's up, down. So this must be forward, backward, so... That's a little obnoxious that I only get 6 moves, and I have to learn... And I don't get to know what the controls actually did ahead of time. Because now I have to just abandon these 2 Zoombinis.
Huzzah! The Zoombinis have been saved from the waves. They can now safely journey to their friends in the caves.
It's a shame I don't have a computer powerful enough to handle this game.
The Zoombinis worked together, and their combined weight caused the mechanical door to open. They watched in delight as their trapped friends emerged from the darkness. The Zoombinis were reunited. But what's this? Not all of the Zoombinis have been accounted for. A Zoombini named Zua explained why. When the storm came, the Zoombinis ran into the cave for shelter. Huddling in the darkness, they heard a strange rustling nearby. In a flash of lightning, the Zoombinis saw that the strangest creatures were watching them. It was the mysterious Boolies. In a panic, the Zoombinis scattered in every direction. Just at that moment, lightning struck and the door closed with a thud. Some of the Zoombinis found their way back to the door of the cave, but the others, they must still be inside with the Boolies. another rescue party must be formed, this time to search the dark and mysterious caves. Only the 8 most intrepid Zoombinis will be chosen for this most dangerous
All right, chat.
assignment.
Left or right? Which way are we rescuing our folks? Left or right? Yes. Oh, okay. It's extremely helpful. Thank you for that.
Eight brave Zoombinis have chosen to go left, but the Hall of the Scarabs has stopped them in their
Weird
tracks.
that it's only 8.
The doors of the Scarabs are closed up in stone and
Left
can
for all the
only
lefties,
be
but I'm
opened if
right-handed.
the
I'm correct-handed. Zoombinis are trapped inside the Beetlebug Alley. To move the scarab beetles, press one of the tiles located next to the doors. Try to get each beetle on its matching color. Once all the beetles are in the correct place, all the doors will light up. Pull the lever to open them. Only 4 Zoombinis can pass at a time, so you may have to do this twice. Well... Okay, so green is on the right spot, but purple is not. And so these 4. So I can leave green alone, essentially. Or hopefully. Is that not correct? Chat? There we go. I was missing the lever. Oh, no, that's a much more complicated pattern. How am I supposed to just swap these 2? Probably like this. Left-handedness is a sinister trait. Yeah, I see what you did there.
Good job! The Zoombinis emerged from the cave to find a village draped in snow. There, they met the friendly but demanding Norfs. These furry creatures offered the Zoombinis safe passage through their town, but only after lunch. To make each Norf happy and to pass through their borders, feed each hungry Norf all the food that it orders.
Are we gonna make them a pizza? Oh! Oh no! Oh, that ain't right! Ooh. Okay. Okay. Well, we've got... it's a logic puzzle chart up above. What Eldritch Horror has this game introduced to us? I know, right?
Sorry, that's not it.
Nope, that's not.
that's not what I ordered.
Okay, so I can't serve you without a drink, though.
Nope, that's not what I ordered.
Do I only get 2 shots at each person? This is obnoxious, and it's not giving any clues other than...
The person who wants salad is not sitting next to the one who wants a sandwich.
Oh! That's the part we were missing. Talking to the customer.
One of my neighbors and I want fish.
Okay.
Nobody wants orange juice or milk.
Okay. Well, that's easy.
I don't want salad.
The person who wants salad is not sitting next to the one who wants a sandwich.
Okay, so doesn't want salad. One of his neighbors has to have fish. So he wants the sandwich.
Sorry, that's not it.
Nope.
Thank you. I was starving.
So she didn't want. So she wants the.
Nobody wants orange juice or...
One of my neighbors and I want fish.
I thought I gave her the salad.
The person who wants salad is not sitting next to the one who wants a sandwich. Okay, some of you can go. Don't worry, you'll see your... Having fed the Norfs a nutritious lunch, the Zoombinis gathered in the village square.
Okay, that was a logic puzzle, and it would
In
have
the
helped if I had
snowy
known you could
village,
talk to
the
them.
Zoombinis were at last reunited with their lost friends. They were also surrounded by a host of small purple creatures. Could these be the fearsome bullies? Huddled in the caves that stormy night, the Zoombinis
thought I
heard a
gave her the
strange
salad.
rustling. In a flash of lightning, the Zoombinis saw that the strangest creatures were watching them. Bullies! Just at that moment, the cave door slammed shut. The Zoombinis scattered in every direction. Griff and his friends tried to run, but bumped right into the bullies.
Yeah.
Such unusual creatures. Some were smiling and some were not, and they liked to stick together like glue. The bullies led them out of the cave and to the safety of a snowy village. A very helpful thing for the mysterious
I've lost the
bullies
plot.
to do. Why, the bullies were nothing to be feared at all. Even the ones wearing frowns were very friendly. The Zoombinis greeted their new friends and began thanking them for their rescue. But just at that moment, one bully stepped forward and told a sad story. Last night, a terrible storm swept through their home, a town called Bullywood. The storm scattered the bullies throughout the land. The mayor of Bullywood, the Grand Bully, was gone, and there was no one to gather them together. The bullies were confused and unsure of what to do. The Zoombinis came up with a plan. "We'll help you," the Zoombinis exclaimed. "We will journey on to Bullywood, gathering up bullies as we go." All the Zoombinis agreed that this was an excellent plan and prepared for their journey to Bullywood. And more Zoombinis joined their friends on North Mountain. But to continue, they would still need 4 more of their friends.
Okay, so I have to... So I lost too many to the sandwiches. So let's go back to
Another
rescue site
group
1.
of
Yep, I have enough.
intrepid Zoombinis.
We're going the other way now. Away from the sandwiches.
In the cold of the caves, Zoombinis don't shiver, but ride magic bubbles across a magical river. It's a mystic marsh they're trapped inside, and the arrows they find there will be their guide.
Uh-huh. This is just the same as the last puzzle in the first game, but worse. Like, literally, what is this symbol supposed to be? Gray nose, I guess? What? Oh, that's a switch. I guess I just teleported him out of existence. Oh, a magnet's a hold. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Why are there different colored magnets? Although passing over a colored star can release them. Okay. Ah, aha, that's why they're colored, because that's the release mechanism. But how are you supposed to get to the star? That releases the Zoombini if you can't get over the magnet in the first place. Ah.
Ah, the French.
See, the previous game taught me if you get bumped into something, or you bump into another Zoombini, you're gonna pop each other's bubbles. And that's all I'm going to be able to rescue, because I did not understand the rules.
Don't worry, you'll see your
Because those were,
Zombini friends
some of those were
again
vague
at
and
the
actually
cave
hard to read.
entrance. Which fleens are real and which are reflections? Correct choices move Zoombinis in the right direction.
More fleens. Zoombinis can't get past the fleens unless they figure out which one is real. Fire the cannon at the mirrors to find out the real fleen. Each time a mirror is hit, the indicators on the side tell you how many traits that fleen has in common with the real fleen. Choose your shots wisely, as you only have a limited number of cannonballs. Find the real fleens and Zoomini continue their journey. Okay, so I'm looking... Ooh, what did they do to the fleens? Okay, so that only has one characteristic. Okay, I think I get this. Weird process of elimination thing. Okay, it's 2 characteristics in common. But I don't see anything else that has the same 2 characteristics. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I am now terrified to play the 3rd one, because if it continues in the trend of going downhill... Okay, so it's not those 2 traits. It's probably that one. Nope. Oh, now I get to fire my Zoombinis as cannonballs. That's fun. Do I get that Zoombini through? Or is he lost?
Don't worry, you'll see your Zoombini friends again. You can find your lost Zoombinis again at the cave entrance.
That wasn't the part I was worried about.
And more Zoombinis join. Another group of intrepid Zoombinis.
That puzzle
The
was dumb.
Zoombinis return to the Scarab.
So I want red, orange, cyan, green. Why did that only let 2 through? Chat, I'm doing a harumph. Oh, you only get 2 tries of that. Cool. Cool, cool, cool.
It's lunchtime again.
I'm the only one who wants a sandwich.
Everybody over there wants salad. Yuck.
Everybody else wants milk. Yeesh.
Nobody wants tea.
Okay, some of you can go.
Okay, some of you can go.
Why is there a zipper sound when I'm giving them their tray?
Thank you. I
It's
was
deeply
starving.
concerning.
And the Zoombinis smiled at that, having fed the... It's time for another rescue party to be... So the Zoombinis resolved to head into the valley below. The only way down was a slippery path indeed, a ski slope controlled by grumpy Norfs. The Zoombinis' traits show them which way to travel. Don't run into Norfs, or their plans may unravel.
Oh, it's literally the four rock creature cave puzzle from the first one, except this time you're told what to put there. See, so I need a one-eyed thing that's not the spring. Watch out for the Norps. I think it was Nork, like orc.
You've done it! Hurrah! The Zoombinis have made it down the mountain of snow, down to the much warmer valley below. There along the river, the Zoombinis met up with more groups of bullies. Only happy groups are willing to travel in the Zoombinis' borrowed boats. Some bullies are happy and others will brood. When hit with a pinball, they change up their mood.
We only sail with a smile. Otherwise, you're being left behind. Click on a group of bullies, and the waiting pinballs will roll down the ramp to meet them. When a pinball hits a bully, the bully's mood will change. Try to make all the bullies happy, so the different numbers of pinballs affect the bullies in different ways. Hint, hitting a sad bully makes him happy. Hitting a happy bully changes him and his neighbor. That's... Okay, so if I have one coming in and then three, I can make a happy sad into a happy happy. No, I can't. Here, we'll help you. We're just gonna chuck all these orbs at you. I thought I understood what I was doing here, but apparently I don't. Oh, what are those noises? gonna be happy to ride the boat. If you're not happy, we hit you. This is a questionable practice. I don't think... Is this what the TSA is? These are terrifying noises. This is not okay.
And the happy bullies all jumped into boats. Much happier boats than the boats of the bloats.
The bloats are back.
Finally, the Zoombinis arrived in Bullywood with many happy bullies in tow. Looking around, they saw that Bullywood was deserted. The bullies explained that without their mayor, the Grand Bully, they could not stay together for long. They asked the Zoombinis to please help them bring more bullies home to Bullywood. Only then would the Grand Bully return. Bullywood needs more bullies.
Okay, so looking at this, that's a reused puzzle. That's a reused puzzle. That's a new puzzle. That's a new puzzle. That's kind of new, kind of reused. That's a reused puzzle. That's a new puzzle, but bad. That's a reused puzzle. That's a new puzzle. So like, they're Boolean.
It's time to choose more Zoom.
Us me.
And so the Good job! To continue the...
Yes, yes, yes. So only one thing of eyes. Two things of feet. The rest all noses and hairs. Does a hat really count as hair? Grogu? Is that Star Wars guy? Does wig count as hair? Wig is hair. But that can't be it, because then that's an odd amount on the shoes. Someone with this kind of glasses. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. This has big excited eyes, but not glasses. Hat is only hair if it's made of wool. Got it. Exactly. See, it's simple system. No, that doesn't work. This is the only pair of feet like that, so I need to put that somewhere else. It's only a matter of time before I luck into it. I wish there's a restart button, like just remove them all. Matching feet. Matching hair. Eh. Let's gonna move on.
Our little
Okay, so it was left, right, up, down, in, out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to go up. Oh, it changed. See, that's super unfair. If it changes... Because then, like, you're always wasting at least one unless you get lucky.
Huzzah! Another group of intrepids. Light up the...
I actually really like this puzzle. I like a good spatial puzzle, but... Okay, so I need to get green and blue swapped. Or green and cyan swapped. So if I do that... Yeah, that works. Because now I just come back here. Boom. Oh, this one's easy. It's just time consuming. Oh. Wait, what? Okay. So red's fine. So we're in green. So green needs to go behind purple. So it goes there. Cyan needs to go behind green.
You've done it!
I'm the only one who wants salad.
My neighbors both want orange juice. Yuck.
The only one who wants a sandwich is over there.
I do like that they give you the logic puzzle paper. In case you need to...
I'm the only one who wants tea.
Which means this guy wants milk.
I'm the only one who wants salad.
Okay.
My neighbors both want orange juice.
The only one who wants a sandwich is over there.
But that doesn't answer if you two want fish or if you want a salad. Or no.
I'm the only one who wants salad.
Yeah. Never mind, that works.
Okay, some of you can go.
I think these are supposed to be the tree creatures that
Okay, some of you can go.
wanted us to make them a pizza. It's just a strict downgrade in art design. I don't know what went on.
Thank you. I was starving.
That was delicious.
And the Zoombinis
Oh boy, fish and orange
smiled at
juice,
the
my favorite
happily
lunch.
chewing North. Having fed the... It's time for another rescue party to be formed. Back down the...
Okay, so we need a mono eye. See, this puzzle, now that I have this, there's no other variations that would be blocked, so it just is going to stay like this the entire time. So it's really a busy box. I do like that when you pick up a Zoombini, it tells you their name at the bottom.
You've done it!
It's the best improvement of the game.
Back to the pin.
Am I wrong, Beer Fox? Okay, so I'll make him happy, but then it'll make him unhappy and his neighbor unhappy. Okay, so this... I objectively can't do anything here that would clear any of them. Because they're all in the same state. Or, you winning, son? Or father? Son, father? Father, son? We've cleared all the puzzles in the second game and come to realize it's not as good as the first. And it makes these horrifying noises, so you know. You just love the phrase. Had you not heard that phrase before? They're Booleans and they need to be 1, not 0. We're learning coding? Yeah, this is how emotional regulation works. Just smack your friend a whole bunch. With little tin balls and everything's gonna be fine.
And the happy Boolies all jumped into boats. The Zoombinis brought more happy Boolies back to Boollywood, and little by little, the town seemed to be coming back to life, but even more Boolies were needed.
I like that nothing here is explained. Like, haunted house. Ice cream cake home. Yeti roller coaster. Mushroom. Ugh. Oh, that's not right. Is that how they summon their mayor? Singular house. It's Candy Mountain, Charlie. Sure is. Oy vey. I tell you what, chat. I think that's where we're going to call it for the day. A little early, but c'est la vie. I'm a little disappointed. Years I've waited to play this, and now I understand why they've only re-released the first one. But yeah, thank you so much for joining another episode of Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. It's been good to be with y'all today, and I hope you have a good rest of your day and a good weekend. Check me out tomorrow on P. Tony's channel as I compete on Game of Favorites. Go vote for me. It should be a lot of fun. And gonna snooze that ad. Join us again on Monday for Birth by Sleep. It might be the last episode. Tuesday, more Spirit in the Mouse, midweek Minecraft, and then next Thursday we're going to be playing the third Zoombinis. Vote for Father Oven! Indeed. Now I need fan art of an oven wearing a clerical shirt. But anyway, thank you to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed, given bits, all that good jazz. And again, when we hit 500, going to do a 12-hour stream. So we're getting close on that, and I have to suffer eating MREs. So that'll be fun. So yeah, so I think that's everything. Thank you to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed, given bits, all that good jazz. Checked out the YouTube and the Discord. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. And let's see who's live that we can raid into. Oh, no. No. You can't do mass on this screen. It's only on the game screen. I'll try to remember to refund you that. Anyway, I'm going to send you on over to Mark Liberto, formerly known as Late to the Game. He's a fun guy. Yeah, not on this scene. He's playing the new Donkey Kong game, so let's go check it out. Raid call will be Father Raid as usual. And again, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, and God bless.